2.
Okay, this is Coach Gaskin. He's going to demonstrate the power clean lift. In my opinion, the most important lift in sports right here is the power clean. I definitely think we should take advantage of this with our athletes. He's going to demonstrate the proper technique, so you can kind of talk through Coach Gaskin as you do it.
Okay. You want your hands just outside of your knees about shoulder width. Okay. When you squat down, you want the bar against your shins. But when you go up, you're kind of going to relax your arms. Okay. And then the hip explosion will bring up the weight. You don't actually pull up with your arms. It's all a hip and core explosion. I'll just demonstrate it.
He can't do it in slow motion either. And he brings his elbows high to the sky like that. You want to bring your elbows to the ceiling.
One more.
You want to hear that jump and the elbows come up like that.
You want to snap under it as your feet hit the ground. So the snap and the feet hitting the ground is at the same time. So.
And then one thing too with this room is there's chalk right here to help use. But we just got to make sure we don't get crazy with the chalk, because if we do, then it gets everywhere and it's just really tough to clean up. But there is chalk. If the athletes just go like this with their hands, with that chalk, and they just rub together, that's enough chalk. They don't need to like dip their hands in there. And so they just, all they need to do is just grab a little piece and just rub their hands with it, just like that, and just rub them together. So that is the power clean. Okay, now we're going to demonstrate the hang clean, alright, with a front squat to a press, a double press. What we want to do here is the bar never touches. We start in the hang position here, and we're going to explode up with it. Front squat it down, press it above our head, reset our feet, press it above our head again. This is a very explosive lift, a complex lift. Probably the best lift you can do with your athletes is this lift right here, because it is a total body workout. If you didn't have much time in a weight room with your athletes, you definitely want to do this lift right here, because it works so much with your body, from your core to your shoulders to your legs. It's a total body workout here. So I would definitely recommend this in season with your athletes if you don't have much time in this room. So I'll kind of explain as he's doing it. He starts from the hang position. He's going to jump, front squat, above his head, reset his feet, press again. One more time. He never drops it back to the ground. Jump, front squat, press above his head. Alright, that's good. One more. Front squat, press it, press it. Good. That's good. You can drop it down now. Now, with that, as you can see there, he needs to get explosion when he goes to press above his head. He resets his feet and he explodes up. Okay, now the third lift in the power clean circuit would be the power snatch here. Here you want a wider grip with your hands. You don't want your hands in so tight. You never want to bend your elbows on this. This is a very explosive lift where you're going to start from the ground and you're going to explode up, bringing your arms above your heads and really snapping your feet. Chris will demonstrate it. He does a lot better job at it than I do. But a wide grip. Be explosive, finish with your head. We want to hear your feet hit the wood. We want to hear it. Just like that, big jump. Bring it above your head. Alright, that's good. Okay, now we're going to show some kettlebell work here. This is really good for our female athletes. There's a lot of good things we can do with our male athletes as well, but kettlebells can really work flexibility, range of motion. Coach Gaskin is going to show a couple different things you can do with kettlebells. We can, at a different time, go into different exercises with kettlebells, but that could be 50 minutes in itself, just talking about kettlebell work. But he's going to show some things you can do just to work on your range of motion, flexibility. But again, for females, this would be really good stuff that they can do, because power cleans might not necessarily be their thing, but kettlebell work they can get a lot out of. So, all right.
Okay, so basically what he said is going to work your hips, your flexibility, and your range of motion. When people first start squatting, it's really hard for them to take their butt to their heels because of their flexibility. So this is good for, you know, people that are just starting out lifting to work on. If you want to go down, you want to sink your butt as far as you can to your heels. Keep your heels flat and drop the weight and explode up. Use your core to bring the weight up.
So he's just dropping that and moving that up. And that'd be good with our younger athletes, females, doing that right there just to get their flexibility or range of motion. There's any others you want to show? Also, you still got some camera. Also, these platforms here, when you use these, don't use these on the wood part of the platform. Use them on the rubber part. If you use them on the wood, they'll scratch it, plus they'll slide. These platforms, you can do all different heights with these. These are 4 different heights, okay? Or actually 5 different heights, I think. But you can use all the different sides to it to get different looks. So, in different sizes. So these here are really, really valuable for us. Any questions? Okay, we're going to show here the parallel squat and the front squat. We demonstrated the front squat a little bit with power cleans, but we're going to demonstrate it here. Next, going to get in, just go ahead and go into the bar. Okay, he wants to make sure that you stay in that position. You want to make sure you wear a belt. That's the most important thing. You want to make sure that bar is sitting right in your neck, your groove of your neck there. Alright, you want to press your shoulder blades slightly together. You want to look up straight to the ceiling. Get a big chest. Alright, and you want to drop your buttocks area to your ankles. Okay? Now you don't want to obviously go that low, but you want to get parallel. So if he had a stripe in his shorts like that, that stripe got parallel. So he's going to demonstrate one time without spotters so you can see the proper squat position, then we'll show how you can spot it if you had heavy weight on there. Go ahead. Up. Just hold it for a second. Alright, right there is parallel. Then he explodes up. And then one lift that you can do with younger athletes is put a little light weight on there. Tell them to go down, hold, and count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up. And that way they'll get muscle memory in their muscle groups. They'll get muscle memory and know where their spot is at parallel. And every lift meet that we've been to when we go to the Muncie Central lift meet, this is how they squat at the Muncie Central lift meet. Every lift competition I've been part of, this is how they squat. So that's how we do it. So that's why we do it this way. Now we're going to show how to spot here. We're going to get 2 side spotters. If somebody was doing heavyweight, you would want to make sure you're not touching the bar, but you're right underneath the bar. You have a back spotter behind. The back spotter does not want to touch, but he wants to be there in case the squatter would fail, and he'd be able to catch him. So let's go ahead and go. Ready, go. Just right there. Up. One more time. Up. All right. Now go ahead and get out of the picture, guys. Thanks. Yeah, if the guy ever fails, okay, it's so important that he falls just right back and he does not grab right here. If he does, that weight can fall, the bar can fall on his fingers and smash his fingers. So he wants to make sure that he trusts his spotters. He just falls back. We won't demonstrate the fail here, but I think everybody gets the picture. Any questions?
How high should those safety crossbars be?
Right below parallel for the squatter. Right wherever parallel is at for the squatter, it should be just right below it. Good question. Yes?
How do you adjust your height where the bar's at?
Okay, let's go ahead and let's take the bar off his neck. Show that. Okay. Alright, it's pretty simple. Go ahead with the arms. Just pull it up, lift it out, and then just go right back to the adjustment. So go ahead and get it back up. So pull it up, out, back in. There's no bolts or anything like that. You got to unscrew it, just comes out. And that's the same thing with these side bars. You screw it in and out, just like that. back in there. The chains, you see, the chains, these are for just resistance, and just, for more advanced squatting and bench pressing if you want to use chains. Just helps give resistance explosion, really helps with explosion up. So the more you go up, the more resistance you're going to get. Alright, now we're going to gradually to front squat. Okay. Are you ready on this? Alright. You can probably see it from the side there. You can see it from the side. Alright, now we're going to show front squat here. The important thing with front squat is that you get your elbows high, and kind of rest the weight on the palm of your hands. But again, this is just going to help your balance, your flexibility, your core. It's just an advanced squat, squat technique. Let's go ahead and show that. Here he is. He goes down, up. All right, one more. All right, good. If you're out of season, you maybe want to do one day of parallel squat, and then maybe one day of front squat. If you're out of season, if you're maybe on a 4-day lift cycle, maybe you can do one day of parallel, one day of front squat. Obviously, you're not going to go as much weight with the front squat, but it just helps with your core and your balance and flexibility. It does help with your power clean as well. So that was the front squat. I think that pretty much covers squat. Okay, now we're going to talk about the bench press. With the bench, if our athletes would ever go to a lift competition, the important thing is shoulder blades would have to be flat on the bench. Butt would have to remain on the bench, cannot go up, and the feet have to be flat on the floor. That would be competition rules. You could get an arch in your lower back, but you have to keep your butt flat, your shoulder blades flat, and that's a lot of times that's the mistakes that kids make is they want to bring their butt up, or they want to bring one shoulder blade up and the other one up to try to get it. That technically wouldn't be the right way to use it. They want to make sure they're pressing with their triceps. I like to put a lot of weight on the heels of my hands so that way I can really use the triceps. They should slightly pinch the shoulder blades together on the bench and then try to get a big chest and push it up. Yeah. Grip-wise, there's a couple different things. You could go pinky here on this little groove, or you could go thumb right there in. It really is up to the athlete. I can argue it both ways. That doesn't really matter, whatever's comfortable for them.
Make sure your thumbs are in front, though, so when you unrack it, some people do it like this, and if you bring it up, you can drop it on your chest. You want to make sure you have your thumbs on the bar so it doesn't fall on your chest.
And spotters got to make sure that they're there, they're watching, but obviously we don't want to touch the bar spotting. That's a common mistake. We don't want to touch the bar spotting unless the athlete needs help. But we want to be there in case the athlete's going to fail. But if the athlete's going to fail, then that's when we grab it. But otherwise, we're there because if we touch the bar, then that's not a clean lift for the athlete. All right, so go ahead.
You want to unrack it, and you want to bring it down about your nipple line. Then you can press up and bring it back over your eyes.
And then act like he's going to fail. Okay. So bring it up, and then help the athlete wrap it. Okay. Or you can. Or you can be here. Alright. You know it's going to be tough for him, so you can be here with your hands going. Alright, he's going to fail, so I grab one up, one under. I'll pull up. Any questions on the bench?
Sometimes I see kids lifting it down with a heavy weight.